So Skiddy has been a little bit under the weather, her cat, for the last, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks. And I was really starting to get concerned, like, I guess we're going to take her to the vet. She's probably getting pretty old. We really don't know how old she is. You may remember, some of you may remember that when she was a stray that came around, got caught in one of my varmint traps. And I let her go, and she came and during the day and we had a bucket of lard sitting out. And she was trying to get the lid off the lard, so I fed her some cat food, and she has stuck around ever since. And she wouldn't come in the house. She would sleep under the house. That was a hot summer, but she slept underneath the house. And then, let's see, I guess we went ahead, I don't remember the sequence. Oh no, I know what it was. I thought she was very young, that's what it was. Well, anyway, one day it got down into like just right around freezing, right around 32 degrees in the morning time. And she lets us pick her up, but she doesn't want to be in your lap or anything. But I picked her up, I took her in the house, and we tried this several times before throughout the summer. She hated it. She'd go right to the door and start meowing. Well, I took her in, 32 degrees, and it's kind of chilly in the house. I mean, it's like 64 degrees in the house because I hadn't started the fire yet. And set her on the floor. She ran right to the door, started meowing, and then I think she realized, oh, it's warmer in here. So she turned around and darted underneath the bed, and ever since then, she has spent more and more and more time in the house every day. She would come out for hours at a time and then go in. Well, now she's pretty much indoors all the time. I don't know, she'll come out for a half hour, walk around the house a few times, get dirty. That's very important, roll around in the dirt, and then come back in the house. Well, for the last few weeks, she really hasn't been doing well. She's been in the house. Right before she got sick, she was cuddling with me every night, just right up next to me. It was really starting to get annoying because I wasn't getting any sleep. Well, she stopped doing that, and she was just sleeping either on top of the cooler, we have a cooler, or under the bed. And she'd come out to get fed. That was about it. So we... I was getting to the point where I was pretty sure we were going to take her to the vet, and they're going to say, well, she's past her prime, or it was going to be way too expensive to take care of her anymore, because I don't want to invest a lot into her. I mean, she's been a great cat. I mean, a great cat. She has never once clawed either one of us, not even playing around, not by accident. I mean, she might come up and hit your arm to get your attention, but it's not one of these scratches. So just a great cat. She can go in out of the house by herself now. She learned how to leave the house pretty quickly, but it's taken a long time to figure out how to get back in the house. The other day, I don't know, a while ago, it was 4:30 in the morning. I let her out, or the door was open, so she got out, and a little while later, she was back in. I'm like, how'd you do that? So she figured out how to get back in on her own. But now, the last 2 days, she's gotten immensely better. Yesterday, she was acting pretty perky, getting back up on the windowsill, looking out. I think she came outside for a while. She hadn't been outside in a while. And if she wouldn't leave the porch. Then last night, she bugged me all night. She didn't cuddle with me, but she kept waking me up, wanting food or petted or something. So, that's kind of the way she was before. And now, today, she was outside for a good half hour again, walking around, got dirty again, rolled down in the dirt. Seems like to be back to her old normal self. So I guess I'm kind of thinking maybe the heat got to her. Now, when it was hot, we were putting frozen water bottles on the cooler, and we would lay it next to her, and she would lay by it for a few minutes, but then she'd get tired of it and either knock it off or go away from it. But we left it out there. But now I'm thinking, even at one point I thought maybe I should take her out to the truck and put her in the air conditioning. But I kept thinking, this just doesn't make sense to me. Carolyn and I are surviving the heat. I mean, we're not into the hundreds. I Googled it. What temperature is too hot for the cat? And it was 100, above 100 degrees. I mean, we got close a few times, but never got to 100. So I don't know. I was thinking maybe she had kidney disease or something, but she's back to being her old self, pretty much completely recovered. So I'm thinking the heat got to her. I looked it up, heat stroke, and she had a lot of the symptoms of heat stroke. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to get one of those heating cooling pads. You know, you can put it in the microwave or in the freezer. And when it gets back into the 90s, we'll just lay that on top of the cooler that she likes to lay on. Maybe put a towel over it or something so it's not too cold. And she can lay on that. That's about the only thing I can think to do. I know somebody's going, you need to get air conditioning. Well, I'm not going to get air conditioning for a cat. If I don't need air conditioning, there's got to be a way the cat doesn't need air conditioning. I mean, what about the feral cats? There are cats all over the world who endure a 100-degree temperature and they're not all getting sick. Well, if they are getting sick, they're recovering. She drank plenty of water. I mean, tons of water. She went through so much kitty litter, it's not even funny. She's probably going through a 5-gallon, I think they're 5-gallon buckets of kitty litter a week. And we were cleaning it out several times a day. So, I mean, and she was eating fine. Probably better than she had before. So she was just tired, lethargic, and so anyway, she seems to be better today, a lot better, now that the temperatures have cooled off. So maybe we'll get to keep her for a little while longer. She's been such a good cat. I really wasn't looking forward to her leaving us just yet. I would like to have gotten more time with her. I don't know why. She's a great cat, that's all I can say. I mean, she really doesn't want to be picked up. She wants everything on her terms. I mean, she's a typical cat, so she wants petted when she wants petted, not when you want to pet her, when she wants petted. She does not want to get in your lap at all. I'll be sitting in the chair, she'll be on the bed, and she'll put her front paws on my lap, and I think, oh, maybe she's coming to my lap. Nope, that was just to get my attention. The headbutts weren't working, so she got in my lap for a second. But I'm glad she's getting better. I really don't want to get attached to an animal so much like I have, but yeah, I guess it happens. And then we got that darn dog. It's a stray, comes around every few days. She won't let us pet her, but she wants food, and she keeps getting closer to us. And now, after she eats, she always went across the street and laid down to rest after she ate. But now she's staying here, and she's getting on the porch. But you can feed her from your hand, but as soon as you try to put your hand on her head to pet her, nope, that ain't gonna happen. But I don't think we can have a dog. I know somebody's gonna say, you're gonna have to have a dog. We can't have a dog. Our house is not big enough for a dog, and plus we got Skiddy to think about. They already don't get along. Skiddy saw her the other day, came outside, and they didn't get in a fight or anything, but the dog realized this was not her place, so she left. So the cat wasn't going to tolerate that. So we got to think about that. But if she does start coming around where we can pet her and stuff, we'll see if we can get somebody to adopt her, get her to a good home. But she is getting fattened up. She's been coming around for several months now. She's not fat yet. I mean, she's still quite skinny, but she is getting healthier. You can see it. Her ribs aren't showing quite as bad. Her stomach isn't just sunk in like nothing. And she's not shaking. You can tell that she was starving to death because, you know, her body just couldn't handle her weight anymore. So she's doing better. But she didn't come around yesterday. She didn't come around this morning either. But we got a bag of food for her just when she's ready for it. She can have it. I don't know where she goes. So, I mean, you would think she's starving, she'd want to come here every day because she knows she's going to get fed. So I want to talk about customers real quick. And you know, I've been having a struggle with one of the guys who cuts grass for a living around here. I've talked to him about him many times, and I think I finally got him to realize that I'm not going to work on his mowers anymore. I told you, I think the other day, that he wanted to drop off a weed eater, said it was under warranty, and it wasn't. It was just the only thing I'd ever done to it was change the air filter and the fuel filter. That's all I ever did to it. I didn't even change the spark plug. So he says it's not running and wanted it fixed under warranty. I said no. So I think that's over with. But I do find that there are a wide variety of type of customers. The folks, this is strange. We have summer homes here. People buy summer homes and they come out in the summer. There are two types of people who come out into their summer homes. There's one type that would never drop anything off here at all. They're just too snooty, and this is not the place for them. I had a guy call the other day, says, hey, do you have a, what was it that he wanted? Oh, a gasket for the bowl on a carburetor. And so after 20 minutes of conversation, I was explaining to him, probably not the gasket that you're worried about. It's probably the needle valve has wore away, or the float. And told him where he could get one and all that, because I don't carry parts. I said, now I can come over and pick up your mower and have it fixed in a few days. No, I'm gonna take it to Kansas City. I mean, it was quite obvious he wanted nothing to do with us rednecks out here. No, he's gonna take it into the fancy city and pay a bunch of money to get the same kind of work. Maybe even less reliable. And it was an old lawnmower. It was a 15 horsepower Kohler. They don't make those anymore. It was, well, they might make them, but they don't put them on John Deere's anymore. I don't think they put anything less than a 17 horsepower on a John Deere. 17.5 maybe. So it was an old mower. I rebuilt one last year. I completely refurbished one. You may remember that. And it was a 15 horse, and that was 1980 something that was made, that mower. So it was old, but he was just not gonna, he was not going to even think about having the scuzzy hillbilly Missouri hillbilly. No, he wasn't gonna do that. So that's fine. But then a guy called me again, another summer homeowner, and says, can you come pick up my lawnmower? Gave me the code to his shed. He was in Kansas City. He says, my mower doesn't run, and I just need to get it running. It's a little push mower. I mean, and it was old too. So I went over there, picked it up. I was really worried somebody was going to call the police on me. Went in his shed, got it. Smelled like gasoline, terribly bad in there. Because the gas was leaking. I just told you about the needle valve. It was leaking. So all the gas had drained down, and it was all over inside the shed. And boy, it smelled terrible. Not terrible, but it smelled like gas. So anyway, got it over here. And once I realized it had a leak in the carburetor, I wasn't going to take any chances. I just bought a new carburetor. I wasn't even going to try to start it. But I also noticed the oil was really syrupy. It was thick oil. So I changed the oil before I even got the carburetor. I think I changed it twice, actually, to try to flush it out a little bit. So when I got the carburetor, I guess I changed the oil. Yeah, I flushed it out one more time. No, I flushed it out. I ran it. You got the carburetor. I ran it, dumped the oil out, and put more oil in it. And then I think I got it fairly clean. But during that little short run, it ran fine. There was absolutely no problems with it. So I washed it, and then I waited because he was in Kansas City until he came back down. He came down Saturday night, probably about 7 o'clock, and he says, I'll be here tomorrow, so can you drop it off on Sunday? Well, you know, Carolyn just hates that I work on Sunday. So, but I said, hey, you know, we're going into town Sunday. I'll just swing on by your place in the morning if that's okay. It will be early. Yeah, that's great. So, Sunday morning before we left, I tried to start it and it surged real bad. And I did everything I could. I checked all the specifications, the hole sizes in the carburetor. I checked everything. And I realized, I mean, I knew pretty sure, and I even knew this before I changed oil, that sludge had gotten around the governor inside. The oil sludge had gotten around the governor, and the governor couldn't open freely. Open and close. So I was like, I'm just going to tell him I'm not going to charge him. I mean, I already told him how much it was. And it was expensive because we had pickup and delivery fees, and there was a lot of cost involved in that one. For an old lawnmower, old push mower. It was actually self-propelled. So I take it over there Sunday morning. He's just got his shorts on and some flip-flops. He comes running up the hill. And I said, hey, we got some bad news. And I go through the whole thing, that the oil was sludge, and it appears that the the sludge has gotten on the governor and it's surging really bad, so I'm not going to charge you. He said, oh, no, yeah, I'm going to pay you, and he hands me a wad of cash. And there was an extra $10 from on top of what I wanted to pay him, or what I wanted. And I said, no, you keep it. He says, no, you earned it. He says, you're coming over on Sunday and you take the money. Well, I hadn't even started it for him yet. We hadn't even got it out of the truck. So I rolled it down there and it's surging. He says, oh, that's no big deal. It used to do that all the time. So I'd been worried to death about this lawnmower. So that's the interesting thing, is you get such a wide variety of customers. You get those who don't want to pay and just want to rush you. Then you get those who think you're just disgusting. They're not going to have anything to do with you. And then you get those who are more than happy to pay you. They're grateful that you took the time to go over to their place, enter a code into their shed, get the thing out, be responsible, bring it back. So a little bit of renewed faith this week in my customers. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video over my other channel. Really appreciate you. Go check it out. So I hope I can inspire you. I don't know. Do something great. Sing of your dreams. Thanks for watching.